dollar pension 10, 15 years ago won't buy much of anything here today.
And why the millennial generation is starting to give up because they can't afford to get a good job or own a house.
8 million Venezuelans voting for this assembly, saying it's actually less than 3.
It is. And people are going to start rioting in the streets.
Was reported to have asked Putin for military support that would help him stay in power.
We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
And they ignore him. And 8 more years goes by till Bernie himself finally admits to his sons, hey, I've been running a Ponzi scheme.
Does its dominance mean it can use the alliance for its own ends?
Since 1981, bond yields, also known as coupon rates, have just gone down and down and down.
The Federal Reserve note will be your biggest financial liability.
RTD Live Talk. It's 9:40 on a Wednesday night, the 8th day of the 8th month of 2018. We're live and I'm trying something different. Got a whole new setup going on here. Looking to find out your thoughts on the matter. So we'll see how this turns out. I figure I'll try something tonight. And so let me see if I get the chat up and running. Let me see who's checking in. Let me see how I get this chat going on the screen here. Work with me. Work with me. Work with me, people. So other than that, we are streaming. I don't see my chat going on next to my screen just yet, but I'm going to give it a second. Hopefully it pops up. But welcome to RTD Live Talk. The number's above me, 833 Live RTD. Call in. Let me know what's on your mind. And what I want to talk about most notably is the whole crypto sector that's been hammered today over the fact that the ETFs have been put off for, I think, about 60 days or so, give or take, end of September. So I want to find out from all the crypto lovers out there what your thoughts on that is and how might that play out. And then also give me your thoughts on the whole setup here. Give me some feedback on the presentation style here. Thought I would do something a little bit different. And go from there. So, any new viewers, feel free to let me know where you're chiming in from, where you're tuning in from. We got Scott, we got Spirit, Faith, Delonzo, Jesse, we got William from Arizona. Any new viewers out there? I'm would love to find out where you're tuning in from. We got somebody from Georgia. Gold's moving up. Scott, I haven't even checked out gold today. I've been so glued to the screen in reference to the crypto sector. We got New Zealand in the building. Welcome. It has to be early morning in New Zealand, so I appreciate you for chiming in. And also, I don't really hear much about New Zealand and the news. So I think that's, if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, let me know. But Nave, let me know what's happening in New Zealand. What's going on there? How's the economy there? Is it as bad as it is here mainland or what? Chime in the chat. Let me know, or call in if you like. I would love to speak with someone from New Zealand. We got California in the building. FUD, all gave me the unregulated market. So Jesse James, what are your thoughts, man? So beyond the idea, was the whole delaying of the ETF, was it a deliberate strategy by the exchanges as well as those that are positioning themselves for this crypto market? Did they know that by doing so, a lot of people would run in fear and there'll be a massive sell-off of all kinds? And so, but you know, once again, depending on what you're looking for, what you're in the game for, I look at it as an opportunity because I had my eye on a couple of my more favorite coins, and so definitely took my position a little bit higher in a few of those things. So I'm excited. It's been a very good day in that regards. We got Calgary, Canada. Welcome. And so with that being the case, let me get some people's thoughts on what's going on. Any events I haven't heard about. What are your thoughts on the mainstream media attacking Alex Jones and removing his channel from YouTube as well as Spotify, Facebook, and I think maybe Twitter and Instagram? So clearly is a deliberate attack. And so he is probably one of the most outspoken voices in the alternative media realm. So I'm interested to find out, do you guys think that there'll be more channels to follow? And if so, will there be a public outcry, or will it get swept under the rug as it has been thus far? Because not too many people, other than Alex Jones viewers and those on the conservative side, actually care or even mention it in the news for the most part. And so I'm trying to figure out, I want to get my chat going on the screen, and it's bothering me that it's not working correctly. Man, this is supposed to be a lot easier than what it is, and so I'm supposed to be able to see some things on my screen. So we'll see if something pops up shortly. I'm not sure how to refresh it, or I don't know. But anyway, let's keep this party going. So what I'm gonna do is put pop-out chat. Give me a second. I'm gonna see if I can maneuver around some things real quick and make this work a little easier. So bear with me, people. In the meantime, someone call in. I want to hear somebody's voice. I want to hear someone's voice. So let's see if this will work. Will it work? Yes. Yes, I got it going, even though it's on the small side. Let me adjust this a little bit so I can read it as we go. So as always, you know, first time, gotta work things out so I can actually see what's going on my screen. It says, Mike, apparently Israel is going crazy on Gaza. The media wasn't reporting it when I checked. So I haven't heard anything about it, so feel free to let me know what exactly is happening. Keep me posted on that. And so actually, since we on here, let me go ahead and pull something up real quick, because I'm interested in finding out exactly what this is about. So we're going to go Israel. Let's go Israel, Gaza. See what comes up in the news. And so this is definitely some serious stuff here. Let me switch my angle real quick. Bam, there we go. Something a little bit different. So comment, let me know what y'all think about this viewing angle. This was a last minute change, but I think it might work. I mean, I'm liking it so far. So let's see what's happening over in that area. It says 9 injured as massive barrage of rockets launched at Israel. So that is never good. Never good at all. And it's good to say it's not going to stop. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Uh-oh. If I hung up on you, feel free to call back. My apologies for that. Let me make this little, because I got a little ringtone there. There we go. Okay, so call back and they'll get you online. So let's actually dive in a little deeper and see what's going on. This was as of 2 hours ago. So this is fresh news. Israeli jets strike Gaza terrorist targets after Hamas launches dozens of rockets. Yeah, man, this is a very, very touchy subject, man, on this whole Gaza Palestinian conflict in that region. And it's good to say it's not going to stop anytime soon. Not sure how to resolve this issue, to be honest with you, because this whole conflict here goes back well into biblical times. For those that are aware and those that actually are familiar with the Old Testament and God's commands to the children of Israel on the Exodus out of the desert land, they were given specific instructions to make sure that they take care of business as far as alleviating a variety of people that was holding down fort in that region. And because they didn't obey, here they are, you know, thousands of years or hundreds of years later, dealing with this issue. So that's a pure sign of disobedience, because they were supposed to have dealt with this issue back when God was walking amongst them, or not walking amongst them, but guiding them out of the desert, so the wilderness rather. So yeah, man, that is what it is. Sorry, definitely sorry for that, but it is what it is, man. It says, what we got here says, yes, it's an attack on freedom of speech. Says Mike, apparently Israel is going to go, but keep getting my weight up. Yep. And Scott, that's a very good point there. And so I noticed that in mentioning the word weight. So are we going to, because I'm actually going to work on a T-shirt in reference to get your weight up. And so someone a while back, gave a hashtag, get your weight up, and it's at GETYOWEIGHTUP. So I think I'm going to use that the measurement version of weight. And so definitely get the tribe going with that. So let me know on your thoughts on that. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike. Tim from Colorado again. If you don't want me to call, let me know.
Oh, no. Please do, my friend. Biggest thing is I want to get more calls in. So let me know what's on your mind. Get to the point, and let's get it going.
Yeah. Well, what's on my mind is, first, you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Two, more callers, more of your listeners, instead of chatting, need to call in my opinion.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. That's what it's for. It's you see that you see the subtitle below. It says RTD Live Talk, a voice for the people. So without a voice other than my own, it's not much of a community amongst the people. So hint, hint, you know, a voice for the people. So anyway, but go ahead. What's your point? What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, I think we're in deep crap, man. I mean, this Alex Jones thing is pretty big, dude.
Yeah, I agree. Because if it can happen to him, it can happen to anybody. So it's not. It's going to be interesting to see what the response is from all his supporters, as well as, because I heard that Twitter is also kind of threatening Trump, or Trump mentioned about trying to get a better understanding as to what they're doing. So hopefully, if the administration can come out and do some investigating on how unfair and how biased the mainstream media is towards conservative talk and alternative views, perhaps we can get some freedom going. Who knows? Yeah. Hello? All right. That might have been it. Thank you for sharing that. So, yeah, definitely a voice for the people. So people call and let your voice be heard. It's all about you guys. Apparently, Mike, let's go ahead. Let me see. It says cryptos are getting destroyed. Yeah, man, that is the truth. They're not getting. Yeah. I mean, if you look at, it depends on your viewpoint and what you think about and what your long-term aspirations are for the technology. And if it's more so like a speculative, make money now type of thing, then of course it's getting hammered, which is causing a lot of people, I'm sure, to sell off. But those that are patient and are more understanding and thinking long-term are the ones on the other end that's purchasing and acquiring. So it could be a blessing for some and a curse for others, depending on what your intentions are with it. And, you know, one of the things I always want to point out is the fact that when we're talking about, and especially using what's happening in Venezuela as a reference point, when monetary policy and all the funny money really gets rolling and hyperinflation type events set in, it's good to say that anything that has somewhat of a limited supply, and a lot of coins are, you know, limited in regards to only having a certain amount of coins of that nature. Of course, it can be forked off, but the initial coins have limitations to them, which means that they're going to be able to absorb some of that liquidity. So I don't foresee cryptos going to zero the way people think they will. So that's just my opinion. Hello, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Tim. Mike, Tim again. I got dropped there.
Oh, yep. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish the point, my friend.
Oh, no, it's probably my problem. Listen, First Amendment, Second Amendment, without those, we're completely done.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I do agree.
And you're exercising your First Amendment, and I hope you can hang in there. You know what I mean?
I will. I'm going to do the best I can. And so that's why another thing is, I think that from suppression and deliberate attacks on channels such as Alex Jones, as well as like SGT report was shut down but back up, all it's going to do is inspire, and it's going to bring about new innovative ways of getting the truth out still. So you won't suppress the truth. You're just going to create new avenues for the message or the good news to get out. So from this will be another medium that people will turn to, which is going to put YouTube and everybody else in trouble. So it's going to be a good thing in the end, because you can't hide and suppress the truth for long. So, but I thank you.
I hope you're right, and you're a strong person, and you're very positive.
Thank you, sir.
What other sites are there, Mike? I mean, like,
if you go to the bottom, no. So as of now, there's what I utilize is DTube, which is from Steam but it's more of a blockchain based medium of exchange, which is not controlled centrally by any governing authority. So it's pretty much open media. So I post all my videos there as well. So for those that are on, it'll be a good way to definitely view it and support because it's all crypto based, which is a way of just sharing information. So I encourage everybody to look into a Steemit account because you can just share articles, pictures, whatever you want, and from there be able to earn some of the Steemit that runs that platform there. So it's a good way to get involved without having to spend any of your own hard-earned money. So, but DTube, so I got a description down below.
I agree, but sorry.
No problem.
I agree, but every place I've gone so far, BitChute, Steemit, wherever, it's just so clunky compared to YouTube. Now, I realize that YouTube is government supported and started, just like, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, but Facebook and Twitter and Google, this is all the same machine.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's all those alternative mediums of communication via Steemit and everybody else, they're all new, and so they're all literally 2-3 years old. And so as always, it's going to take time. And so, but it takes a community. So the more people are aware of it, the more people get involved, the more the people who work behind the scenes will get involved and make it better and improve it so it's not as clunky. So it's just a matter of time. But once again, it's another outlet. So that's what it is.
No, you are right. You are totally right. You're so positive. Sorry.
No problem,
I'm
my
like
friend.
Debbie Downer, man.
It's all good, man. I appreciate you calling and sharing your thoughts, man. It's always good that you tune in and supporting us. So I definitely keep you in my prayers, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, well, hey, I'm just talking to your audience. Call up Mike, okay? Give it to him verbally.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. Enjoy your evening.
Okay, you have a great night.
All right, you too. Love, man. That's all love. Appreciate you calling in. What we got here? So cryptos are getting destroyed. What else we got? Says Mike, another interesting recent news is people in Hong Kong sleeping on 24-hour McDonald's for the air conditioning. Employed people and with a home in many cases. So Hong Kong is having some issues with housing prices. That's very unfortunate. Man, that's bad, man. That's bad. Yeah, so people talking about silver. So definitely stay on your weight game. Get your weight up as always. Protest free speech from government. It might be for us to take Alex Jones. We need 100 more Alex Jones and the community. Very good point, Jeff. So the goal is, man, and that's the thing, like Alex Jones, he started, 15, 20 years ago, and it's taken that long for him to become a prominent voice in the alternative media space. But, it starts with just one person who has a voice and willing to put some time to just sharing their opinions. Everybody is sharing opinions, and then we gather some evidence based upon stuff that happens around us and present it as facts or whatnot. So definitely, man, I would encourage Jeff, I would encourage you to start a YouTube channel, my friend. I'll definitely subscribe and support you, as well as make sure you get it on Steemit as well. Rise again, said, but metals will rise again. Definitely, metals will rise again because paper has to go down. So it's not, that's the thing, like, it seems like the tone is like, man, I can it's the tone of just like metal. Look at the metals prices. They're down. They're up. They're down. They're up. People, if you think in long term, based upon history, it is a mathematical certainty that fiat currencies at some point have to, however I want to say it, to their intrinsic value of zero, because they are liabilities of the government that's owed back to a private institution that is funded by taxation on the people, and all that intrinsic workings of that system cannot last forever. It so happens that the Federal Reserve note has been getting away with it for close to 100 years, but it will not last much longer. It's pretty much good. It will be surprising that it does. Because eventually, once the whole high cost of living and the lack of disposable income and the debt that people are ravaged in catches up to the majority of the population, when the middle income, wealth people are really impacted by it, then more people will be speaking out against it. And at that point, there will be some major issues in how all this plays out. So I gotta edit my little screen there so as you guys can see. But anyway, so definitely, anybody else got some thoughts you want to share, feel free to do so. Drive is cool too for streaming. Drive. I don't think I've heard about that one. Said I don't think they can suppress the truth. It is impossible. Mike, Lynette Zane gave you a huge shout out today in one of her interviews. She did, really. I gotta check that out. Will, what did she say? Well, Lynette Zane is a bad woman. She came on the show and blew it up over here. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you guys go to the RTD University page. Let me pull it up since we're right here. But definitely, Lynette Zane came over here and kicked some knowledge. I enjoy watching her, and actually, before I got on the stream here, I was actually checking out her interview with David Quinteri. So I think you're probably referring to that one, but let me scroll down and let you see what's going on here. So for everybody that's new to RTD, here's all my prior interviews throughout the last 4 years of me reaching out to people. So Lynette Zane was number 74. The purchasing power of the dollar can definitely go below zero. So we talked about the Federal Reserve notes, consumer dollar graph, and how a lot of people say that the dollar can never go below zero, yada, yada, yada. But she laid out a good case as to why it can. And in regards to whether or not it will or will not, I've already actually done some thinking about that. And it looks like if you probably look at, because it's in reference to a dollar, what could you have purchased with a dollar, or the value of a dollar in 1913 in comparison to today? So it says that, we're probably operating on 3 or 4 cents of a dollar. But nowadays, to show that it's already pretty much below zero, just to think about the idea, what can you actually get with a single dollar, which lets me know that it's no longer at 2 or 3% of its value as far as what you can actually purchase, because you can't purchase anything for a dollar now. Like, there's not much you can purchase with a dollar. I would, challenge people to let me know, other than, because when you factor in tax, it's going to put you at $1.06, $1.10, wherever you at. But think about it. In 1913, a single dollar was a day's wage. A dollar was a basket full of groceries. So you got $1913 of a full basket of groceries with a couple hours of labor in there. And then you got today a dollar. That lets me know that it's already well below zero, because you need a dollar plus some change on top of that to actually make something work. So just something worth thinking about. So I believe the dollar's already below zero, because it takes more than $1 to get anything you need now. So that's an indication that it's already in the negative, in my opinion. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Alabama. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing excellent. Say your name one more time, because I have some issues on my part. What's your Pat? Hey, Pat. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Just tickled to death. Saw 2 of your videos. You even said the magic word, silver.
Oh, yeah.
I was tickled to death. This is just to praise you, brother. I want to say you've been grabbing hold of people and shaking them by the shoulders. And I just love it. I love the way your viewership has grown. I'm tickled to death about that.
Well,
I've been watching you since you've been down low.
Thank you.
But you're doing a good job.
Well, thank you, my friend.
And,
I appreciate it.
Now, just say that magic word for me one time.
Silver.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah, Pat, man. I'm gonna call you the silver guy. When I see Alabama, I'm gonna say, okay, it's a Pat the silver guy. I'm gonna save it in my phone.
No, you won't hurt my feelings. Just call me the fugitive farm laborer.
Fugitive farm laborer. Okay. What's on your mind tonight, my friend? Anything you want to share with us?
No, not a thing. It's nice to see that you weren't able to find that Bitcoin ring either. And you're still on it, and I'm still on it too, but we know where we're at.
Yeah, exactly.
And thank you for waking up the folk.
Oh, my pleasure. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to share my opinions with people, and other people resonate with what I say, and we do it together. So it's all about, community. So, Pat, I appreciate you sharing your thoughts and calling in, my friend. Thank you.
Okay, God bless you.
All right, have a good evening. The silver man. So yeah, Pat used to get on my head about not mentioning silver, mentioning gold all the time. So Pat, cheers up to you, buddy. Thumbs up to you. Anyway, so here we got the crypto behind me. I'm getting away from my chats and whatnot. Let me see. He says, someone asks Elmer, what should I invest in? Invest in your education, Elmer. That would be my very first thing, man. Not able to give financial advice, but I'm a thorough believer that once you understand how this monetary system has changed over the last couple over the past century, especially our monetary system here in the United States of America, it will ultimately push you in a direction where you can't deny where you should be putting your energy and your hard-earned labor into. So I won't tell you exactly what those things are, because it's up to you to figure it out. But once you educate yourself, it'll be a no-brainer. And so definitely, if you're new to RTD, click the links below. I got some free ebooks that gives you some information that I think will be helpful. And then also at the bookstore, I got all types of videos and recommended readings that will be a blessing to you as well. And so definitely can lead you in the right direction, my friend. Someone says, so what can you get for $1? Just a few bananas. Yeah, depending on what grocery store, because I imagine even about a pound, it's 99 cents for a pound. So I don't know how many bananas you can get in a pound, but you're not getting much. So that kind of hints at my point that no matter what, you can't get much for $1. So that lets me know you need $1 with something on top of it, which is already saying it's negative. Like, to say that we have 2 cents left or 3 cents left of the original purchasing power of $1, you can't do nothing with 3 cents. Hell, you can't even get no penny candy. They don't even sell penny candy no more. I'm sure a lot of people out here remember penny candy, and if you don't, it's the little candies that used to be at the dollar store or whatever. Where I remember going to the little penny candy store in my neighborhood growing up, and you walk in and it looked like it looked like it was Christmas, and there's so many colorful little bits of gum and chewy things and Laffy Taffies, and Jimmy Chews, all types of stuff for a penny. And one single $1, I would walk out with a little Ziploc bag of candy. Felt like I'd be on a sugar high for the rest of the day. But you can't find that no more. Hence the idea that we're already below that 0 point, in my opinion. I think I might do a book on that. What do you guys think? Let me know. Says Mike, Mr. Morgan stated, gold is money, everything else is credit. With the last technology innovators, is that quote still applicable? Jesse, very good point, man. Definitely, because that original statement apparently came from J.P. Morgan himself, and he's the head honcho who was behind the implementation and creation of our current monetary system. So it still is money, and it's still a hedge against your central bank and your political overseers. And so definitely it has proven to have withstood time in various formats, whether it be war, famine, whatever, you name it. It's always been there. It's immutable. It's forever in relation to coming from the earth. So definitely something of high value. Now what's happening is a lot of companies, as well as precious metals dealers or whatnot, they're utilizing the blockchain to make it easier to exchange digitized gold. So basically it's just going to be digitized gold, of which it comes the intermediary risk of having 2 or 3 people in between you and your metal on the other end. So it boils down to whether or not you trust that or not. And my opinion, I'm going to share my opinion with you on this matter, is that right now it's a great idea, because you can actually exchange your paper for metals and get digits that's in your possession. Because all this is explored, all this is just by trial example right now. All this, digitizing gold and silver and whatnot. And so the real test will come after all this stuff happens in our monetary system, and people actually look to either scan, swipe, or QR code to exchange those metals, and whether or not the transaction process is as easy as it is now in this calm environment. And so my initial thoughts will be that come hell or high water, when things hit the fan, it may not be easy to exchange your metals the way that you can do it now. So hence the idea of, my opinion would be to, put a little bit something in a few things for a safe, precautionary allocation. This is my opinion, but I myself, I'm familiar with variety of companies that I have a couple pennies in, and then I have the physical couple pennies in, and then I'm going to do some other things, and also I'm working with providing some options. It's time to get people involved in more options on how to diversify and to get involved in a variety of things that can help you preserve. So I'm going to be having some guests coming soon. I'm working on the details now, but got a couple people with some solutions that I think you guys might be interested in. So it is coming. 5-cent gummies. Yeah, 5-cent gummies. I haven't seen no 5-cent gummies in a minute. But my point is, you can't do much for 3 cents, 2 cents, never less $1. It says 1970, my dad paid 25 cents for a gallon of gas. A silver quarter today is worth $2.50, same price. That is a monetary education lesson 101 there. You have a pre-65 quarter that is worth $2.50. Excuse me, and a gallon of gas is $2.50. And where are your gas at? Because my gas is $3 or something. So I might have to come fill up where you're at, my friend. Yep, 71 was the game changer. So one thing that in 1971, our monetary system basically was placed on life support. And life support meaning that from that point on, everything became solely fiat and digits. And basically, Uncle Sam has been abusing his privilege by spreading, debt units all around the planet in exchange for goods and services. And that model is coming to an end now, hence all this tariff trade war stuff, because this, I believe, as I look into it more with our back and forth with China, we're basically playing that bully role, and eventually something's going to give, or someone will decide to say, hey, enough's enough. Let's just escalate this a little bit more. And from our standpoint, we can't afford to have China play that tough, hard to get. Because if you guys haven't noticed, I posted an article on my Facebook the other day that mentioned how China is threatening or using Apple profit as a way of saying, hey, we manufacture, for the most part, your biggest stock company type of thing here. So hey, share some of those profits, or we may have to limit or up our prices on the labor for your products, or some of the material that you get from us. We may have to go up in prices. So here's a little article here. It says Apple could be used as a bargaining chip in the trade war, Chinese state media warned. And what I found interesting was, it was a quote here that mentioned how it says something about whoever the gentleman was mentioning this says Apple should look to share some of its profits with the Chinese people. So that's going to be interesting to see, because all you got to do is make a little policy to mess up Apple's position in China, and there goes a major dip in the equities market, hence some of that $1 trillion going away, going bye-bye. So anyway, but definitely, man, it's not gonna be pretty at the end. It says, but is Manhattan, let me see. It says people better start reading their Bible. Very true. Taxes alone are illegal. Social Security was a pipe dream. Welfare will soon end. Precious metals will be back. Precious metals haven't gone anywhere, my friend. They haven't gone anywhere. Cryptos won't work when Wi-Fi and internet go down. Just saying. And Danny, that's a very good assessment there, man. But yet, think about that. There's a lot of people in the sector that are already have that thought in mind of how to use and transact off-chain, to where I believe that sooner or later, if you have electricity, if you have the ability to if you still have power in your phone, they're going to be able to do it to where those wallets are going to be off-chain, to where if you're in the presence of someone else, you can scan and send. So I believe they're going to do some things that will make the need for internet not necessarily something you have to have if you're in close proximity with somebody. So yeah, but that's, once again, that's just my opinion for now until something comes out. Says what we got here is every American should have a second citizenship too. Danny, man, if it was that easy, I'm sure everyone would love to have one. Feel free to put some information there in the chat so people can get educated on how to make that happen, because I'm definitely about that. Also, if you're watching this on your phone and your phone is turned sideways, preferably so you get the full view, can you see the chat over here? Because I can see it on my screen, but it looks like I might have to make it a little bit bigger, because I'm squinting just to watch it as I watch myself. So let me know. Give me some feedback. It says, hey, Mike, do you think all these trade wars could lead to a hot war in the future? I wouldn't put it past the idea of going to a physical shootout war, because based upon a little bit of trade stuff that I've heard about in the past, there's always been some type of escalating of trade that got out of hand that ended up turning into a war. But now that we're in a digital age, I hope that won't be needed, because China can, as it shows here, China could easily get back at us with no problem just by roughing up Apple as an individual company. If they rough up Apple some way by messing with their share price or whatever, or their ability to do business in China, then that's going to impact us big time, to where ain't no guns or nothing needed. It's just going to hurt the financial markets big time, which also hurt them as well. But they are already apparently crumbling. I'm hearing more and more about China's economy just crumbling at the seams because they had so much debt over there. So they don't really need much to cause issues there. It says, what is need to stop worrying about hold wealth? Yeah, I'd agree. Get your weight up. T, tell them to get their weight up. It says, I missed the ing. I missed the ing. So you need to use what you have so you don't already the system. Yeah. Manhattan ice cream costs $17. Man, hold on, that can't be real. Manhattan ice cream can cost up to $17. What type of ice cream? I hope that's not for a cone. Hope that's for a pint or something bigger. Man, I would never pay $17. So trust anyone very yeah, and that's the whole. We will see. As of now, someone mentioned here the need to not have to trust any single person because of the whole blockchain being set up to be a trustless system. And so as of now, that's what's presented now. But we'll see the whole trust factor when things are actually, when the economy is actually impacted and things are starting to crumble. Will it still remain? Will people still have that same level of trust? And the whole digital transactions back and forth. So everything right now in the digital sense and blockchain wise, crypto is all new. Everything is new. So I wouldn't really hang too much on it. That's why I always recommend, in my opinion, for people to get your weight up, because with your weight, you at least know you're sitting heavy. And if you're sitting heavy, then you are good to go. You are good to go. So I wonder, is there a blur on the screen? To my right, I'm hoping there's not a blur. So somebody let me know if there's a blur on this side of the screen that shows the chat, because I have to take care of that if that is the case. So people, let me know. Somebody chime in, let me know. And as of right now, the phone lines aren't too hot, so no one's letting their voice be heard. Everyone who's chiming in right now has an opinion, has a voice about something. I would love to hear your voice on the matter. It says the whole thing, I've lost my appetite. Oh, Joseph, get your weight up. So that's a little slogan that the community we've come up with in reference to the acquiring of tangible metals in your physical possession, having your weight. And so, so it goes back to just the original definition of the dollar in of itself. For those that are interested and may not know, if you read the Coinage Act of 1792, and from top to bottom, it talks about the definition of a dollar being a defined measurement of weight. And so if the dollar was given a original definition of weight, then that means that money, and aka sound money, has always been referred to prior to the creation of a central bank as being a measurement of weight. Now you say the word dollar, you think of a piece of paper. And so when I say get your weight up, I'm referring to the original mindset of those back in the day who knew what weight was and the importance of having physical metals in their possession, not in any third party's hands, and all the banking aspects of that came about later on. So that's what I mean by get your weight up. So when you see us say get your weight up on the show, that's what it means, get your weight up. There's a whole thing. Let me see what else we got going. Say I've not been able to eat. So someone mentioned about not being able to eat. What does that mean? What's going on with you? The Bitcoins used to be a 5 cents a deco. The Bitcoins, 5 cents, $5 a decade ago. Your shirts keeps changing color. That's because the green screen behind me is green, and my shirt happens to be green. So technically, you can see right through me in the words to my background. So that's a little super effect there, a voice for the people. It says, but if it's not China, it's Russia or the old world. Institutions and fiat currencies only have value because we people believe and say it does. Very true. And so one thing I wanted to mention that was on my mind the other day about, oh, here we go. Since we're on here, I meant to do a news story earlier, but I forgot about it. But I'll do it. I'll mention it right now, and I actually pulled it up. But what's happening right now? A lot of people may not be aware of it, but I'll fill you guys in. Is that here in Detroit, General Motors and Henry Ford, which is everybody know Henry Ford, but Henry Ford Hospital here have come up with an agreement. And so it says in a first for Michigan, Henry Ford signs a direct contract with GM. And so this move right here is going to be very significant for the removal of the middlemen. And so what's happening right now in various industries, and so right here is the automotive sector and the health industry. Healthcare insurance is beyond, the premiums is beyond robbing people. And it has more so to do with the actual middlemen, i.e. the healthcare providers that are overcharging people because they've been positioned by, and so I did a video like 2 years ago about how a part of the whole Obamacare was that the healthcare industry, all the insurers, the middlemen were put in a position of extreme favor thanks to our former administration, to where they basically were able to go up on all of their premiums. So everybody who utilized their services got an increase on their bills, which became a problem because it was no longer the Affordable Care Act because no one can afford it. So what GM is doing is they are saying, hell, to hell with you, middleman. And so there's 2 or 3 Blue Cross Blue Shield, Ultima, a couple of different health industries in this state here that GM used to work through. They're saying, hey, we're going to cut you out. We're going to go straight to Henry Ford, which is a pretty big hospital in the city of Detroit here, and they have different, little hubs or whatnot throughout the metropolitan area. But GM is cutting a deal with Henry Ford directly and bypassing the middleman. And if you read this article, or it may not be in this article, but it talks about the cost that people will save. So everyone's health premiums will go down by them cutting out the middleman. And so I think this is great, man. I think more automotive manufacturers are going to do it. More companies need to cut out the middleman, which will force all those HMOs and PPOs, all those companies to come down and compete for real for business. So if you guys are interested, just type in GM and healthcare, and you'll see what I'm talking about there. So this is a move that's coming, and I'm sure it's going to be a blessing to a lot of people because healthcare costs is a major issue for a lot of people. It says, Mike, did you see the Zero Hedge other day about mattress firm filing for bankrupt? Jeff, I did not see it. Yeah, and I believe you sent me the link. Appreciate you for doing that. I didn't get a chance to look at it, so let me pull it up right here. And so I love when people share news that I'm not able to get to. Mattress company, company. Damn it! Got my phone under my hand. Mattress company files bankruptcy. See what comes up here. Okay, we got some activity here. It says mattress firms woes in the forecast. Mattress firm reportedly considering bankruptcy filing. What do we got here? Let's see who's filing bankrupt. For bankruptcy. Mattress Firm Incorporated. Says people familiar with the mattress told Reuters. So yeah, bankruptcy, Mattress Firm. I've never heard of Mattress Firm before, so I don't know anything about them. But Mattress Firm, mattress, none of the store. So it says Stein quarterly report released 99 Mattress Firm stores closed during the fiscal year. So 99 stores closed, which probably looks like they probably got 5 or 6 employees in there. So that's 5 times 100. That's 500 employees, give or take, that are no longer employed through them. It says in 2016, 3.8 billion deal. Wow. So that's unfortunate. And so it's good to say that there's a lot more mattress companies as well as other companies going through some issues right now because a lot of people are opting out of retail stores and choosing to shop online. So I'm sure we're going to hear more about that. Moved from California to New Zealand in 2005, had to fly out multiple monster boxes of silver and trade. That was fun. Very cool. No child. Says you eat $2 dozen eggs must be from Franken chicken. Never heard of that one. So the other article I want to share with you was another pretty big retailer is deciding to drop Visa. And so I think this is very telling because this plays into the monopoly that Visa, MasterCard, Apex, American Express, all these 4 or 5 different companies that are taxing the hell out of the public. And so as of now, Kroger, a grocery store that's, you know, pretty well known, is deciding to say, hell, and it said credit cards at 21 stores and 5 gas stations in California starting August 14th. So that's 21 Krogers are saying the hell with Visa. We're no longer going to use you because you're taxing the hell out of us. And so, of course, when you remove and you threaten to stop using them, then they say we'll come to the table, we'll talk. So as of now, it looks like they're going to sit down with Kroger and, you know, talk some stuff over. But you better believe that once Visa and Kroger come to a better agreement, you're going to see all the other retail grocery stores want the same agreement. Then they're going to say the hell with MasterCard. So this was leading to my point before I got, you know, went down this rabbit trail, is the idea that all the middle companies, all the third parties now are at risk, especially as this blockchain stuff really jumps off, because pretty soon you won't really need to utilize the services of a card, A, and then B, you won't really need to place your confidence or your money in a bank that's related to these cards. And so a lot of middle party type services are under threat right now. And that's good news for you and I, because we no longer have to pay these crazy credit card fees or just the interest on loans in general. If there's people out there competing for your business, they're going to have to play according to the rules along with everybody else, which means cheaper prices for you and I, which is going to be a good thing. Which will be a good thing. It says, Mike, when a central bank prints money, shouldn't that money be distributed for the citizens? It seems to me that they just print and giving to corporations. Yeah, but you got to realize central banks weren't designed to benefit the public. They were designed to fund the government, and then the government would use their services and they would be able to repay the central banks back based upon taxation on the public. So it's one big, circle of the government uses the central bank. Central bank controls the money supply anyway, because it's issued in their name and it has their name on it. It's given to the citizens. The citizens use it, and at 2% inflation, supposedly. So every central bank's mandate is to create inflation. They say that 2% is healthy for business growth and credit expansion, but really 2% is an erosion of your purchasing power, which they don't really seem to care. And so that, not only do you pay taxes, not only do you have to, pay taxes for everything you have, you got to pay taxes on the income, and you got to pay taxes on your property, you got to pay taxes on your food, you got to pay tax. So it was all designed to tax you, and that goes back. So technically we do get the money, but it's just heavily taxed to where you don't get a chance to keep much of it. So having a lot of that stuff in your possession, it's losing value just by sitting around, because you can't put in the bank and earn anything, because that's not the new economy that we're in right now. So yeah, but that was by design. It wasn't by accident. That was design all along. Cold wallet, hold in your backyard. So we're talking about different wallets for whatnot. So they buried all over. Somebody said they got stuff buried all over 5 acres of land. So that's terrible. There, we got here. So yeah, so people, we are up on that time limit. We're about 40-50 minutes into it. I ain't heard anybody's voice tonight, but other than one, or I think 2 people called in. So appreciate you guys anyway. But the conversation's been real. If you've enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. Definitely. Let me know your comments as far as this presentation here. And then I'm going to still iron out a couple things here. But definitely, it's been great as always. Kicking it to my side here, as you can see, right, where you at? Right here. Right here. Make sure you guys are all follow me on these outlets here. I'm going to share stuff throughout the day. Steam it, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. If you don't like Facebook, do Steam it. If you like Steam it, do Twitter. If you like Twitter, do Instagram. Either one. And then also share this with your family and friends. And if you guys want, hashtag get your weight up. Hashtag GETYOWEIGHTUP, so people will know what that means, and then they'll come here and say, what does get your weight up mean? Because we're in this day and age, especially in America, where everybody's trying to lose weight, And here I am, and here we are telling people to get their weight up. So that'd be a good way to get people to wonder, like, you know, why is people trying to get fat? You need to be fat so that this monetary storm don't blow you away. You need something to anchor yourself down. So get your weight up. Other than that, if you guys want to, man, I would love your support. At the very top of this, where we at over here, way up there, we're on Patreon. I got a couple people supporting me. Definitely would love your help so that I can do more of this more often. And I got a lot of things in mind, but it takes time. And time is paper, unfortunately, at this point. But anyway, everybody enjoy your evening. Hope you had a good time tonight. Give me a comment, leave a thumbs up, all that good stuff like that. Share this, get the word out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. And let's come ready to talk. I need to hear your guys' voice. Peace out.